Hello and welcome to the MNmaxed podcast, a place for adventurers and friends. We want to thank you for joining us, and you do so as we continue our adventures into the Fall of Plaguestone and Pathfinder Second Edition. A recap of Session 3. As Bort's body becomes blue, King Turnip ushers the usual suspects out to the stable. There is an interrogation. Turnip King doesn't really seem to suspect us. He says none of us can leave until the mystery is solved. We decide to become involved. We go to investigate the porridge. Daru trusts his fortitude and simply eats from the big bowl. Seems okay. We check our own personal bowls. Also seem fine. Tamlin comes to the bar to see Bort's body. She says the crew are breaking out the Keonan wine to pay tribute. Plum and Vorn join her. Miklik and Daru stay back for a while. In the morning, we tend our wounds. Adra says her horses have fleas, and now that's our fucking problem somehow. She wants some rosemary. She says she saw Trin and Finnick leave as the fight started. We reinvestigate the tavern. Daru notices an unusual floral aroma. We don't know what to make of this, so we go get some rosemary. Upon reaching the rosemary, we find the giant bear Edra warned us about. Vorn attempts to go wild empathy the giant grizzly. This goes poorly. As we fight the bear, Miklik gets revenanted, and while grappled in the bear's claws, he flies into a rage and bites with a bee back. Everyone goes all out, and the bear is defeated by a frost ray to its head. Miklik returns to town with a bear pelt.
All right, so you guys get back to the stables there, and Edra sees you and you killed him.
Well, yes, it's either that or be eaten by the motherfucker.
I tried to make friends with him.
Well, I suppose nothing could be done. Thank you. Did you get the rosemary? I assume you have.
I handed the bag of rosemary.
Oh, this is perfect. Thank you so much.
So how much are you paying us?
I'm sorry?
Dude?
I don't have any money to give you. I'm sorry.
Experience?
Yes, give us experience.
I will pay you by mixing up this poultice and treating your trans horses.
I like
that seems fair.
This is bullshit. I'm taking that rosemary back. We're gonna sell it.
No, Varn, no. Let her have the rosemary. Let her treat the horses. It's okay. It's all right. Only Miklik got hurt. It's fine. He enjoys it, I think.
I like how Vorn went from calling copper pieces little brown things at the beginning of the adventure, and just 3 sessions later, he's like, loot! Give me loot!
I want money.
It's more of Ted.
That's Ted. So okay. So she does, and she's gonna put it aside for right now. And she thanks you. Thank you so much. I'll definitely be able to get them taken care of now.
All right, and if you hear anything about this, the murder of Bort, just, keep your ear to the ground, and if anybody's saying anything that you think we might need to know, just let us know.
I'll definitely keep my eyes open for anything odd.
Much obliged, Edra.
Congratulations. You just, pick some rosemary, kill the bear.
It was epic picking of flowers. I mean, that is how you go out and gather herbs like an adventurer.
Killing bears.
Kill a bear.
Not quite epic, more moderate than anything.
Killed us a bear in Session 3.
So what do you guys do next?
I feel like we need to talk to Finnick and probably that Trin, since they both left.
And the cook.
Yeah, we never talked to them.
And the cook.
Sounds like you guys got kind of a little laundry list that you've come up with here. What do you do first?
Is either Finnick or Trin at the inn right now?
No, Delma would have told you earlier, even last night, that she said that she's gonna be closing the kitchens down and the tavern down for a few days.
So where's everyone get their alcohol?
Everyone got their own turnip mixer at home.
Their own turnip distillery?
Yeah.
Everybody's fermenting turnips at home for funsies. What are you gonna do with all those turnips?
So who do we want to go talk to? I mean, I honestly vote the cook. I've forgotten her name. That's who I think we should go talk to first.
Started with an A. I don't remember it though.
Amora.
Amora. So would we be in exploration mode right now, or
Absolutely.
like where we're a lot more general with like we search or we investigate or?
Yeah, we haven't really brought up the different modes of gameplay yet. There are 3 different modes of gameplay that exist within Pathfinder. The first mode, probably the most obvious mode, is encounter mode. And that's like the bear fight, for example, or the wolf fight at the beginning of the adventure. That is a very structured, turn-based mode of play, where it's constrained by a lot of rules to do what you need to get done. Then there's exploration mode. Exploration mode is measured more in the minutes, hours, and occasionally days, where you have certain things that you can do while you're exploring. And then there's downtime mode. Downtime mode is measured in days, weeks, months, sometimes years, where you have a whole another set of things that you can do during downtime mode. But yes, while you're investigating Bort's murder, you're going to be in exploration mode unless I say otherwise when we get into encounter mode.
For this, Tyler, do you want us to like specifically roleplay going and seeing Alma? Or are we just going to say we investigate by talking to other witnesses?
Or do like a gather information check.
Or that.
I want to play this investigation part of it. I don't want to constrict ourselves with the exploration rules, because the exploration rules, I mean, yeah, there's things that you can do during exploration, like you can be defensive, or you can sneak, or you can even like cast spells repeatedly during exploration, but I don't want to think of it as being constrained so much by the rules. So what I want to do is just really a traditional role play, what do you do here, and you guys tell me what you do, and then I will interpret what you tell me that you're doing into the exploration rules.
All right. So
don't think of it any differently than you normally would.
Okay, sounds good. All right, friends. I really think we need to go talk to the cook, Alma. Do you think we should go all together, or do you think that'd be too intimidating? What do you suspect?
Maybe the half-orc and the goblin don't need to go.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at talking to people.
Never mind. I'm sorry. You are the diplomat, Miklik.
I say Miklik's actually pretty good at talking. I know Plum's better than Miklik is, but he's pretty good at talking to people. It just doesn't always come across the best way.
Can I real quick just ask you, because I want you to say it on air, what is your charisma score?
Miklik's charisma score is a 16.
Yeah. So Miklik is definitely, I mean, everybody has responded very positively to you so far.
Yeah.
As far as the goblin is concerned.
He's very friendly. And yeah, I mean, goblins in this setting are still majoritively
Accepted.
actually considered evil, but
Oh, I thought you were okay.
no, the majority of them are still, considered evil, and they do still raid caravans and raid villages and whatnot. So yeah, a lot of goblins are still looked at in a not so great of a light, but there are becoming more accepted that they are decent, that there are some that are at least decent people.
There's been some examples in recent history that in certain communities, whether it's goblin tribes assisting settlements of your typical races, either with like trade deals through what they gather in the woods and what those communities might need. Some goblin tribes have come to taken to worshiping your typical deities that civilized humanoids would worship. I know there's the last goblin, the Weeby goblins adventure paths. I know our group played Weeby Goblins, which back in Pathfinder 1E was a short adventure written in order to, all the players played goblins in a small tribe, right?
Yeah.
The latest one, the one that released this year, was called Weeby Heroes, and it's a tribe of goblins brokering peace with human settlements to help overcome an issue that's happening. And the leader of that tribe actually worships Serenray, And that goblin is blind because it spends all of its time looking at the big fancy ball of fire in the sky. But which it seems so goblin appropriate. Of course, if a goblin's gonna worship a deity, it's gonna be Serenre. Goblins love fire. It's so thematically appropriate to me. But anyways, yes, they are becoming more accepted in the civilized races slowly. But that doesn't mean that things are always going to be smooth.
Well, let's go have a not smooth conversation with his cook as we suspect her of murder.
But he has a very large, disarming smile with razor-sharp teeth.
And a very large, disarming bear cloak.
Yes.
Are you taking the bear cloak with you?
He'll probably leave it at the stables. It's not really ready for him yet. He wants to find someone to make it so it fits him better.
I'm going to take the bear cloak and tan it and do whatever else I need to do to make it actually wearable.
Really? Okay. Now, Ted, I've seen your character sheet. You have crafting, but you also specialize in a certain type of crafting, right?
Yes, and unfortunately it's not leather.
Oh, what is it?
It's woodworking.
Oh, that's too bad.
So specialty crafting actually states it's a skill feat.
Oh, so you don't have...
You don't have it yet.
I do have it.
You have that
How did
skill
you get a
feat?
skill feat?
I have it because of my tinker background.
Oh,
The tinker background says you're trained in the crafting skill and the engineering lore skill. You gain the specialty crafting skill feat.
Okay.
I think
So really,
everything-
the specialty just gives you the bonus.
Gives you a
Having
bonus.
crafting itself allows you to do anything with crafting.
other than alchemy.
Alchemy, I know.
Except for alchemy, which does have an asterisk next to it that says you must have the alchemical crafting skill feat to craft alchemical items, which makes me completely regret taking woodworking and not taking alchemy, since now if I took alchemy, then I'd be able to do anything.
But I mean, you're a druid. It makes sense you took woodworking.
Yeah. But knowing that, I can do leatherworking. I just don't get bonuses to it.
Yeah, you just don't get the +1.
And I've kind of sussed out how the DCs for this work. There's a DC table, the difficulty class table in the game mastering section, and it gives you difficulty class based on level. I'm just gonna find that here real quick.
It also
Is it
says
the
you
base?
must spend 4 days at work.
This is definitely a downtime activity. You can start the process, obviously.
I mean, I'm going to start the tanning process or the leatherworking process.
Yeah, definitely. Since this item that you're trying to make is just a bearskin cloak, I'm assuming, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so a bearskin cloak,
Slash
for
helmet.
size for Miklik. I'm going to say this is a 0 level item. Now, most of the time with crafting, you also need a formula for it. So if you want to craft like a piece of leather armor, you need to have the formula in order to do so. You can buy formulas from general stores or shops in the world, but since this is an item that Vorn is basically making up,
I mean,
and
it's something I feel like I've definitely made before, too. I mean, not necessarily with a bear skin, but like tanning a hide. I'm fucking druid that's been living in the woods.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fine with it. And since it's not here, I'm gonna GM talk here. You're not getting any mechanical benefit from it.
No.
Miklik's not going to get any mechanical benefit from it, so I'm not worried about you having a formula for something that's you just being creative and then contributing to the story.
What are you talking about? Miklik's gonna get a +2 badass ranking.
Just like Hercules
Right.
and his lion.
So Vorn's decided what he's doing. He's going to start the tanning process. I know you most of the time you need specialty tools, but if Delma kind of sees you prepping this, Delma could tell you where in town the tannery used to be. There is no more tannery in town,
I'll head that way.
but the building still exists and it still has some of the tools. The
That place is
owner...
gonna smell awful.
It is. The owner of the tannery at the time ended up dying from the plague 20 years ago.
Plaguestone.
Was it like a stone that gave everybody the plague? Is that?
You could ask that question to Delma if you were there and knew what was going on, but you're on your way to Amora's farm.
Yay! Let's go talk to
Amora,
the murder cook.
Amora, she lives outside of the Old Orchard, is what it's called. The Old Orchard is a place where when you get close to the old orchard. It's just outside of town. It used to be an apple orchard, but the trees are foul and rotten. Can anybody give me a nature check?
Yes, I can. That I rolled well. That's going to be a 21.
These trees are just they all caught a disease, and this whole orchard, it spread to the whole orchard, and the orchard died. So it's not like evil or malign influence, it's just a tree disease, and the orchard's dead now. Daru and Miklik and Plum are walking through the old orchard here. I need everybody to give me a perception check.
I got my first natural 20 of the campaign. I get a 24.
Well done.
I also got a nat 20 for a 25.
Oh shit. Hey Daru, you want to embarrass yourself next to the 2 nat 20s?
I got an 18.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
Alright.
not bad.
Everybody did really good on this one.
My 2 nat 20s for the campaign have been on perception.
That's it, they're done. Right? Just perception. As you guys are walking through the old orchard, Plum and Miklik easily see well off. You're about 50 feet away, but you see a gigantic beehive in one of the trees.
A gigantic beehive.
Yes. And it's like the beehive, you can't hear it from this far away, but you can see like this small cloud kind of comes in and out, and there's worker bees. Really, it's a really active, very large beehive.
Swarm. Swarm.
Yeah, I've not looked up swarm rules in second edition.
Don't worry, I got you. I got you on the swarm rules.
You just attack them normally.
I got you on swarm stuff. But tell me what your characters are gonna do with that piece of information.
I mean, avoid the fucking
Avoid.
giant beehive.
Go around.
For the benefit of the group here, I'm gonna put up.
Yeah, so this old orchard map is essentially just a path through a few rows of trees.
About 5 foot wide.
I'm so glad we split the party.
It really is my favorite thing. I love it when you guys split the party.
All of a sudden, coming up from behind, Vorn realizes he got bored without everybody and joins us on our way to go see Alma.
That actually does sound like bored.
It does. He wanted to see more nature. Look, there's an orchard. Let's check it out.
Look, there's bees. You want to go pet them?
Yeah.
They
Now,
probably
if I
got
wa-
honey.
If I wild empathy a swarm, do I have to do each one individually?
A minute for each one of the 10,000 bees. A year later, though, you're their queen.
So is the beehive on that third on the right there?
That is exactly it. So just small orchard. There's only kind of the like I said, they're really sickly. But you're looking at 11 dead apple trees here. And the third one in on the road is where the beehive is. So 3 trees away from you, you're about 50 feet away from it right now.
I say we leave the road on the west to go around.
And Miklik decides he doesn't want to fuck with the bees. Is everybody following Miklik?
Yes.
I
believe
I can punch a bear. Bees not so much.
You can bite bees.
Nah, spicy.
Spicy sky raisins. So how wide are we talking here?
I mean, I would say essentially on the other side of the tree line, so about 20 feet off the path.
Okay. And you guys are just out for a stroll?
Well, I think the term is avoid notice.
Avoid. Yeah, I will stealth. Why not? Can you hide from bees? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna try.
We're gonna
I
try.
don't think, unless they're like some weird type of bees, I don't think they care what we're doing. As long as we're not fucking their
I
hive.
probably have to do this as a secret roll, don't
Oh, it
I?
would definitely be a secret roll.
You don't
So-
know. They might be wasps. They might just fuck with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say wasps just have a natural hate for everything. So to kind of get into what we're doing right now, we are in exploration mode right now, and they are doing the avoid notice exploration activity. And what they do is they're attempting a stealth check, and they're giving me secret checks. All right, so you guys are kind of walking through there. Miklik and Plum are stepping lightly, they're keeping away from it. Daru doesn't really think, he kind of like he said earlier, as long as they don't fuck it up, they're gonna be fine. So he just kind of like he's strutting, clank, clank,
Wearing
clank,
chainmail.
clank, clank, clank. Yeah, it's not quiet. You rolled a 3, by the way.
Hell yeah, dude.
So with the -2 is a 1
Why do you have a -2?
Armor check.
armor. Yeah.
Well, if you have the strength to carry it, you don't take an armor check penalty.
Really?
Yep, check penalty. While wearing your armor, you take this penalty to strength and dexterity-based skill checks, except for those that have the attack trait. If you meet the armor's strength threshold, you don't take this penalty.
Strength threshold. So what's the strength threshold for?
16.
So what's your strength?
16.
So you don't actually take.
The -2 check penalty.
Well, since I didn't read that, do you still take the speed penalty?
I think you do.
Yeah, I'm not
If
seeing
you
it.
meet the armor's strength threshold, you reduce the penalty by 5 feet.
No shit.
Yep,
Oh, hey, cool. My speed's 30.
So this is really new.
this is very different.
This is very different from what we're used to. If there's anybody who's listening who plays 5e or has never played an RPG before, this is going to sound like we're just confused for no reason. But it makes sense. If you're wearing chainmail, if you don't have a certain amount of strength, you take penalties for wearing chainmail. So normally chainmail imposes a -5 foot penalty on your movement speed when you're taking stride actions, and it also gives you an armor check penalty to things like stealthing. So you take a -2 to swimming or stealthing or what have you. Because Daru meets what's called the strength threshold, and the strength threshold for chainmail is 16. That means he does not take the -5 speed penalty. He reduces it by 5 feet, which negates it, and it gets rid of the check penalty entirely. However, the chainmail has the noisy trait and the flexible trait.
Motherfucking noisy trait.
The armor is loud and likely to alert others to your presence when you're using the avoid notice exploration activity. So noisy doesn't really say in the trait section what kind of penalty it imposes.
I feel like it's not trying to say it's a penalty, more so it's trying to say, like, if you're trying to do it, it's probably going to be hurt. Like,
The avoid
you're
notice.
probably, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to avoid notice if you're doing so wearing a chain shirt or chainmail.
Which makes sense. You're walking around in that. There's no way you can, like, quietly
quiet.
do it. Like,
That's a good
Right.
point. Daru's just loud when he crosses the other side of the orchard there. But you guys got a notice of it early enough, and you got a wide enough berth around it that they do not attack you.
Thank goodness.
fuck you, beast.
Congratulations, you avoided that encounter. I'm going to avoid your experience anyways.
So how much XP, Tyler?
Well, it was a trivial encounter. Everybody gets 40 experience.
We continue on toward Alma's house.
Amora. Amora's house is just on the other side of the orchard. You have no problem. It's like 100 feet away from the orchard. So you get there. There is it's a nice, well put together house, but it's also adjacent to a farm. What do you do?
I am ready to interrogate this woman to see if she could possibly be the murderer of Bort. I go up and I knock on the door.
She opens it. Hello.
Miklik sticks out his hand. Me, Miklik, who you?
He looks down at you.
And flashes this big smile.
I'm Amora. I don't recognize. Oh, that's right. You were all sitting at the table with Bort last night, weren't you?
Bort dead.
Bort's dead?
Are you saying that you're not aware of this?
No. What happened?
It is certainly a sad and tragic event, and we were hoping perhaps we could talk to you a little bit about it.
Yeah. Sure. What happened?
We've been asked by Rolf to perhaps help with this investigation, as we were friends of Bort's and we would like to see justice done for him. Well, he died last night, and we were just wondering if you saw anything perhaps odd happen in your kitchen or in the tavern or anything.
In my kitchen or in the tavern? Please, come in. Please.
I go inside.
Here, bear with me just a moment. Please, have a sit at the table.
I do so.
She has this, like a basket that's, got wrappings around it. She sets it on the table that you sit at, and she unwraps it, the cloth that's around it, and it's filled with, biscuits, it looks like. And she just goes, please, help yourselves. Would you like any water? Tea?
Oh, I'm good for now, thank you.
Okay. And she sits down at the other end of the table, and she takes one of the biscuits, and she takes a bite, and how did he die?
We're not rightly sure, but we suspect that he may have been poisoned.
No. From food from my kitchen?
Yes, you see the concern
that
then.
won't do. That won't do at all. No, that won't do at all. Are you sure? Are you 100% sure?
No.
Oh, no, we have to look into other options. I can't, no. Not from my food.
Let me ask this of you, if I could, miss. Are you familiar with any kind of herbs that might be dangerous round here? Any kind of perhaps poisonous plants? How about particularly one that might smell like floral aroma?
Floral aroma? No, I don't know anything about poisons at all. I mean, there are like berries that are poisonous in the woods, but I don't dare go into the woods. I have no need to. The hunters would bring any meat I would need. The farmers bring me turnips to cook.
Well, I must say, miss, that I happened to notice you being right angry at old Bort last night. What is that all about?
Oh, Bort likes messing with me when he comes to town. I play the game because he thinks it's so entertaining.
Can you think of anybody around that might have it out for the old guy?
Not that I can think of. I don't... I've never seen anybody get into any, like, scuffles with him or anything like that.
Is there anybody new hanging around the kitchen last night?
Not new, no. What's
Anybody
this
you don't
flowers-
trust any at all around?
Flowers smell you're talking about. What is that?
Yes. Here, why don't you smell this? And I pull out the bowl.
Oh, you have it with you?
I don't believe I said anything earlier, but it sure would be convenient if I did.
It absolutely would.
I will invite her to come back. How about we go continue this conversation at the kitchen?
Yes, absolutely. Please.
While we're talking to her, Miklik wants to make a sense motive.
Yeah,
on
for
her.
sure. Same.
So basically, you make it's a perception check now.
Yes.
So you're trying to notice any odd behavior coming from who you're interacting with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nervousness and whatnot. Yep.
Any of the three of you who want to make a sense motive, go ahead and drop the dice in the tower for me. You all get the idea. Miklik and Plum, you certainly get the idea that she seems genuinely concerned here, but she's much less concerned about Bort's death than she is about the image and reputation of her kitchen. But she doesn't seem like guilty necessarily. She's really fucking concerned about the fact that if Bort was poisoned from something that came from her kitchen, that's a huge deal to her.
So it's kind of like Mr. Plum's feelings about Bort also. He's not really all that worried about the fact that Bort died.
Sort of, yeah.
Or more worried about other things than... More worried about being able to leave than why he died.
Yeah.
That was the impression I got from Tyler's acting abilities. Well done.
Well, good. You're welcome. I mean, thank you.
Back to the tavern where she can smell that bowl.
Okay, so you guys take her back into the kitchen. She goes, oh my, I haven't seen the kitchen in this state in such a long time. I left when the bar fight occurred. I figured that I'd come back and clean it tonight, but wow. Anyways, yeah, so the bowl, she goes in and she gives it a sniff. Oh, that is not what my porridge smells like. Well, I mean, it does, but it's like somebody crushed a bunch of flowers into it?
Right, what might that mean to you?
That it wasn't made to my specifications. This isn't the porridge that I made. Or if it was the porridge I made, it certainly had something added to it. And she goes over to the kettle and sniffs it. See, the main batch doesn't have it. Doesn't smell like this.
But you can't place the aroma. You don't know what it might be?
Well, I mean, I have no idea. I've never smelled that before. It smells weird. I prepared the dessert, Finnick plated it, and Trin served it. I mean, as far as who had the opportunity to do something about it, those are the only people who would have touched the bowl before it got onto Bort's table. So unless somebody slipped it into his table or into the bowl during the fight, I don't know.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Please, I beg you, find out who did this. I cannot have this reputation over my kitchen. It's just appalling.
Miklik will be like, anyone else in kitchen?
No. That night, Finnick assisted me. I prepared the food, and Trin helped us deliver it to the tables. So it was only the three of us in here that night.
Guy Longshank?
No.
Because wasn't there a mail server that you said that we didn't know? We didn't really have any
Yeah, there was
interactions with?
There was a mess. What do you mean by Longshank?
You, Longshank.
Oh,
He means anybody taller than a goblin.
oh, no, it was just the three of us. Cornroll wasn't set to serve any of the food that evening. He was mostly just serving the drinks. Trin did all the food serving.
But in kitchen?
No, he didn't. He was not in the kitchen last night. Definitely not after I prepared the porridge. I make my porridge fresh, mind you.
No further questions.
Well, if you need anything, please, you know where I live. I would be happy to do anything that I can to assist if you have any more questions.
We dismissed the witness.
She goes and she heads out of the kitchen. She looks very perturbed. Before we go on, we're about early afternoon, after you're done questioning Amora in the kitchen, trying to kind of going over what you've gathered so far. I want to get an idea of where each character is at. Miklik, where are you thinking right now?
I mean, Miklik feels like it's gotta be somebody that was in the kitchen, because, I mean, Bort didn't leave his spot during the brawl.
No?
So I don't see how it would have gotten put into his food there. So it makes me think it's either Trin or Finnick, and being a fellow goblin, I am leaning towards the Longshank.
All right. So Miklik is highly suspicious of the server.
Waitress.
Yes. That was your guys' server last night. Plum, what are you thinking right now?
Plum thinks there's something we're missing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't add up. Why would Trin? Why would Finnick?
Well, that's
why
the
would
thing
they
is
cook?
we don't have a motive right now.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm feeling like there's something we're missing. Somebody must have snuck this in while it was being delivered, or at the table, in the fight, in the chaos.
Okay.
I think we're just going to need to talk to more people. We're going to need to talk to Trin, talk to Finnick, probably talk to the caravan as well.
So you
Well,
guys got a couple.
It might be just to have thrown us off, but that really annoying guy that was mean to Finnick also has... It's like, what does this guy have to do with anything? So we have to go talk to him too.
Dara, what are you thinking?
Always open to the possibility he poisoned himself. Like he's just done with the traveling life, and he figured, what a way to go in Plaguestone.
Dara is
I've
feeling...
got more info. I just can't nail that one down yet.
Ted, I know you weren't technically there for the Amora interview, but I want to get your thoughts on this.
My personal thoughts?
Vorn's thoughts and your thoughts.
I mean, Vorn doesn't have thoughts about this. He's tanning a bear hide. He doesn't realize we're investigating murder. My personal thoughts, though, I'm trying to remember who started the fight.
Farmer Ellum.
Yeah, it was like
was
Farmer
he the
Ellum
one-
and the twins.
Well, someone bumped into Farmer Ellum and dropped the drink. Who bumped into him?
Colnroll. That's the other server, the male server.
I almost want to talk to them.
Okay.
I almost want to see if it was like a distraction that they were causing on purpose so that someone could poison the food.
It was like running a diversion.
Yeah, knowing that the three of them bumping into them and causing a spill would be the easiest way to cause a distraction, cause a brawl.
Interesting thought. So we got a couple of different lines of reasoning here. Miklik blames the Longshank server so far. We got Vorn tans hides and he don't care.
Vorn Tans hides, but his player has the best ideas of all of us.
I mean, we need a motive and we need a murder weapon. I mean, if we're gonna actually convict anybody of this, so.
You don't have any proof of poison. You don't have any motive. You still are in the early stages of the investigation.
So I'm gonna go quick grab Vorn and interrupt his tanning so he can come smell this bowl as well, because I believe he knows more about nature than the rest of us.
Well, no, not nature, because it is in fact a poison. So I would say craft alchemy,
Which we don't have.
which you don't have. Yeah, I would say there's no way for you to identify a poison like this.
If it's a flowery smell like a natural plant.
I mean, that could be a recall knowledge.
Can you do recall knowledge untrained?
Yep, that is the only untrained craft.
I'll do that.
Okay. Well then, Vorn, is going to get a good nose full of that floral scent coming out of the bowl, and he's going to make a recall knowledge check for nature. Now, you haven't. You're going to need to give me a secret check for that recall knowledge. Ooh, damn! You rolled a 19.
Really?
Yeah, you did. I'm completely like.
Way to keep it secret.
Yeah, I'm not good at keeping secrets. We'll decide later on if we want to keep the secret checks period. I do like it for stealth checks. That's my favorite use of it so far. You recognize the floral smell, and it's a smell that comes from a plant. That's a flower. That's a violet that it comes from. The plant isn't poisonous, but it's also not found in this region. It's certainly not from around here. So you guys are finished questioning Amora. Amora's decided that she's gonna leave. She's not gonna hang out in the kitchen. Delma doesn't want her there right now.
Well, I think from here we want to decide who next do we want to talk to, right?
I think the server, she's the one that brought the food out. I want to know, was she the one standing there that dipped the bowl in and got the porridge out and brought it to the table? Did she do all those steps, or?
If you would like to ask Amora before you actually move forward, she would clarify for you that Finnick plated the food.
He wouldn't have known where it was going, like each individual person. He would have just plated a whole bunch of bowls, right? She would have just carried them out.
That's correct. However, there was one major difference in Bort's bowl. It was bigger.
That it smells like flowers?
No, it was bigger than all the other bowls.
Because he loved it so much.
He got the biggest bowl.
So he would have known where it was going.
I don't suspect Finnick, but I guess we've got to talk to him. Maybe he can give us some information. Maybe he'll have some helpful leads.
It's about 3 p.m. right now.
I ask Amora where we might find Finnick.
I don't really know where Finnick lives.
So yeah, let's. If we don't know where to find Finnick, then we could potentially talk to. Who else did we want to talk to? Trin?
And didn't we want to talk to the town grouch?
Oh, Hallett. Yeah. All right, we got a lot of people to go talk to. Do we know? I ask Amora if we know where we could find Trin and Hallett.
I can tell you where Trin lives.
I will take down that information.
Finding Trin's house, even for outsiders, is very easy. I'm going to share with you a map, the map of Etrin's Folly here real quick. That main road that goes south all the way until you see there's one farmhouse on the east side of the road exiting town next to a big open field.
Correct.
Can I ask, what is at the center of town? Is that a well, a statue?
Yeah, it's like a weird stone obelisk thing when we passed it. You said it had a hole in it.
Yeah, so the in the middle, and you guys would pass it literally every time you went through town. But it's a lone stone circle. It's about 2 feet tall. It's covered with moss and lichen. Looks like whatever it is, it's out of use. But 2 features of the stone. There is a slot in the middle, about the size of an envelope slot almost. And then there is a bowl on the side, like a stone bowl.
Are there any checks we can do on it?
Not really.
It seems very odd. When we get an opportunity, I think I'm going to ask a friendly local what the fuck it is.
So you guys start meandering south, and you come across Trin's house. As you guys are traveling through town, right as you're passing that low well thing in the middle of the square, I want everybody to give me a perception check.
I get a 23 with a 19 on the die.
Nicola gets a 12.
Solid 9.
Yeah, I rolled a 2 and got a 9.
Nobody else will see this right now, but Plum, as you're kind of walking south on this path that you were directed, you see a small figure that's hiding around the corner of one of the buildings nearby.
Does it look like a familiar figure?
You don't see enough detail.
I whisper to my companions, "There's a small figure over there that seems to be watching us."
Over where? And I just turn and stare right over there.
I point in the direction.
The figure disappears around the corner.
I give chase?
If I see you running, I'm gonna run after you thinking we're having fun.
Oh, we're gonna have fun. No,
We're playing tag now?
I mean, that's like basic rules of investigation. If somebody runs, you chase them, even if you don't know why. Like every police and detective novel I've read has said that. So,
Okay.
Well, you don't run unless you're guilty, so.
What if it's leading us to a... Nope, I'm not gonna go there. Metagaming. Let's run!
It's a tarp.
All right. So you guys end up taking off. It's actually as you're like leaving to turn left on the main square to start heading south, you see it off to your right hand side. So you would be running north after the figure.
okay.
And the party runs over there.
Who's got the fastest speed?
That's the opposite direction that we were going.
Possibly me?
It is, and yes, Daru is the fastest with a 30-foot move speed. How'd you get that, Daru?
I have the feet fleet.
The fleet feet.
And I don't take a negative on my armor. We found that out.
Is the normal speed for humans only 25?
Yeah, elves are the only ones that have 30.
That's
Because goblins get a 25, so that surprises me.
That sort of happens.
Short little fucking legs.
I think just about all of them get 25.
Except the elf.
So you guys go over and run up to that spot on the house that he was around, that you saw the little figure. Perception checks. Once more.
Ooh, 19. Ooh.
I get a 12.
Miklik gets a natural 20, which is this where I don't know if this perception can be critically.
Not for perception from what I've seen.
It moves up one tick. Right?
Perception isn't technically a skill though.
Well, that's true. It's
skill
not.
perception.
It's your sense. It's kind of off on its own magic skill sidebar. Miklik, you see Finnick running around the other side of the building back towards the feed mill. It seems like he's going from one building to the next, like crossing, like hiding in the shadows as best he can, and he's headed towards the feed mill.
Miklik will call out to him. Just trying to think of how a goblin would call out to somebody.
Maybe you shout something in Goblin. Maybe there's like a special Goblin word that means, "Hey, stop running away! I'm your friend."
Or hey, you slimy fuck, get back here.
I mean, goblin is its own language.
I know. Plum speaks it.
Gross.
But yeah,
You guys just like
so
gargle.
do I take the easy way out and I like say, Miklik shouts out in goblin to stop.
All right, cop out. That's all right. We do that every now and then. He stops where he's at when he hears you yell, and he turns back, and you see his. I know goblins' faces can't really go pale, but it loses some color, and then he fucking takes off. He's running away from you actively now, and at a much faster speed than he was before.
Okay, chase sequence. Let's do
Chase
this.
sequence.
Can we just put him down?
I mean,
I'll
I've
throw a
got.
star knife right at his freaking
How
knees.
far away is he?
He's right now about, I would say, about 4 stride actions away
Oh,
from the
that's what's
So
happening.
how many feet is that?
85 feet.
Ray of Frost.
Okay, let's do initiative then, if that's the case. Let's do initiative.
What chase sequence did you miss? Not kill him sequence.
I don't want to run. We ran enough. We ran here.
Wait, actually,
Problems we don't have an elf.
Born, you don't have a high enough perception to do that.
Damn it.
Miklik is the only one that knows that he's running away from the party.
Okay. So when Miklik sees him bolt, Miklik bolts after him. Doesn't say anything to anybody else.
If I see Miklik bolt, I bolt after Miklik.
I see people running. I'm going to join them.
Plum would have. You said that Plum speaks Goblin, so you would have heard me yell "stop" in Goblin. So you know I was
Yeah.
talking to a Goblin.
I would understand that.
I heard gibberish.
Okay, all right. Well, you guys,
Punch for a race.
with where you guys are at right now, I'm not going to do initiative for this, but this is essentially going to be a skill challenge. As you guys are running away, the location where you're at right now, there's actually a little farmer's market going on nearby, and it's directly right in between you and where Finnick ran to. So, Miklik, you're kind of leading the pack here. You're at the market, and there's a bunch of carts that are here. You can either try to push through the carts, or you can vault around them.
Well, that's going to be a push through.
Push through for Finnick. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Ooh, I want to push through some shit.
Miklik rolls a 14 on his athletics check.
14's on athletics. You're able to kind of like push and as you're going through. You don't lose a lot of momentum. You're still kind of going through, and you don't lose any speed on that. Daru, you're the fastest one, so I can imagine you would get a chance to go right after Miklik, and he's running right through the market here. What do you do?
I'll run fast.
Follow my path of destruction.
Yeah.
So you can either push through the carts or you can vault around them.
I am much of a vaulter, but I'll definitely crush through it at 24.
Holy shit. You're just like, you set up and you push the wagons like a foot. And
I try to do it to not like destroy stuff, but it probably happens.
You just rolled a 24. You destroyed some shit.
There's some products that fall off there, and you maybe knock a cage with a chicken in it off of one of the carts.
I'll say sorry and I'll come back.
I want to do like an intimidation check, Princess Bride. Everybody move!
Then following on this, Plum or Vorn, whichever you prefer to kind of go next.
Sure, I'll go.
Plum, you can vault around the carts, or you can try to push through.
Definitely gonna vault. You say that'd be an acrobatics?
Yeah, vault would be acrobatics.
So I get a 14 to vault.
14 to vault. Plum, these carts are tall, and as Daru is pushing through, one of the carts that he pushes is still moving a little bit while you're trying to vault over it, and you actually lose a little bit of speed here because you fall over, and you're gonna need to get up to continue giving chase.
Ow.
I see Plum go down, and I'm going to try to vault over him in the cart. 17?
Plum, as you're sitting on the ground, you see Vorn just leap over you.
I will win this race.
Please, God, tell me you're not wearing a loincloth.
That was my first thought.
I don't know what I'm actually wearing, if I even wear, like...
Belief.
Like, I feel like I'm just dirty enough, you can't see anything anyways.
Oh, jeez.
Like blurry and like covered
Just crusted.
in mud and blood.
Oh my god, Vorn and just loads of crotch crust. Awesome. Awesome.
Imagine what just fell off of me onto you as I leaped over you.
Oh man.
Do you have like a basic like natural armor just from crusty crap on your body?
I wish I did.
Natural armor +1.
Tyler, is that a thing?
No.
No, David cleaned it off, you remember? Or Vorn, or...
I was just
cleaned it off.
standing a bear.
I'm not giving you a mechanical benefit for being disgusting. Alright. So you guys get through the market. Miklik, you're the one who's the closest to Finnick right now. You've got to close some distance there. He goes and gets on the road, and he starts going for just a straight sprint on the road. In order to chase after him, you're going to need to give me a fortitude save to keep from being winded.
I roll a 19 for a 25.
Fuck.
Dude, you're rolling hot. Jesus.
That
last roll was not... I got a 14 a little bit ago, so...
You guys, when Finnick and Miklik get on the road, Finnick is running along, but Miklik, you close the distance like that, and you're on him, and you can tackle him to the ground.
Wow, okay, that's awesome.
Well done, Miklik. I get up and dust myself off and try and get there.
Oh man.
Past like 20 feet, and then I'm like, yes, I won the race.
He looks at you at Miklik, and he actually starts pleading to you in Goblin. So no, don't hurt Finnick! Don't hurt Finnick!
Miklik, no hurt. Why run?
Bort died!
Yeah?
Bort died! You think I did it?
You kill?
No, I didn't do anything! He's like in the middle of the street, holding up his hands, just crying. People passing by are like looking at you really awkwardly because you're talking to each other in Goblin.
The rest of us catch up by now?
Oh yeah, by this point, right about here.
Can I make a diplomacy check on him to get him to settle down?
Yeah, you can.
We'll give that a shot.
Alright, I am going to attempt to aid. Can I attempt to aid Miklik since I'm there now and I speak Goblin?
Yes, aiding is a reaction. We're not technically in initiative, but we're going to allow that to happen. So when you make the roll on the dice, what'd you get?
I get an 8. I rolled a nat 1.
Okay, so this being a skill check, his result is 8. Now the last step in resolving a check is to compare the DC to the result. If the result is 10 less than the DC, or if you roll a natural 1, in this case David rolled a natural 1 for Plum's diplomacy, he fails with an 8 normally, A natural one reduces to a critical failure. Who has the aid action up? What is a critical failure when you attempt to aid?
A critical failure on an aid is actually gives you a -1 penalty on the aid instead of a +1 or +2 on a critical success.
I run up and I say, Finnick, we're not going to hurt you. And my goblin's a little rusty, and instead it comes out, Finnick, we're going to fucking hurt you. And so Miklik now has a -1 due to diplomacy.
So that moves Miklik's already fairly poor 14 down to a 13.
That is correct. Finnick, no, don't leave me alone. I didn't do anything.
So Miklik understands Plum messed up, so Miklik turns and kind of glares at him. So Miklik will yell at Plum to go away because he's making it worse.
Plum takes a few steps back.
He's like pleading. He's wringing his hands together. No, I didn't. Finnick didn't do nothing. Finnick just gave the plates. Finnick didn't do anything.
You fill Bort bowl?
Yeah. I don't know.
You fill all bowls?
Yes.
Who take Bort bowl?
I don't remember. I don't remember anything. I don't know what happened. And he's
Anybody else got anything? I don't think we're gonna get much out of Finnick.
He looks absolutely terrified of you right now.
Like, okay, Miklik will like stand up, get off him, back up a little bit, let him settle down, see if he settles down.
He starts looking around frantically, like he's looking for someplace to run to.
Does he look like he's like worried of something else or just us?
Give me a perception on his sense motive on that.
Would
Yes,
Plum as well.
Plum can definitely do that. You understand Goblin and you're observing.
I get a 17 on my perception check to sense his motive.
Miklik gets a 7 on his perception for sense motive.
Miklik, you understand how terrifying you are. He's just terrified of you. Plum, Finnick kind of looks like he's looking for something or somebody.
I try and step back in just a little bit, and in Goblin, I'll say, Finnick, who are you scared of? Is it Hallett?
Don't say his name out loud like that. And he's looking around frantically. He starts like scrambling on all fours to an alley, the opening of an alleyway nearby.
Follow him?
He's not hard to follow. And he gets into the alleyway and he like goes into the fetal position and next to the building as much in the shadows as he can. And he just starts rocking back and forth. He's having a panic attack, obviously.
Finnick, why were you following us?
I wasn't following you. I was trying to get to the larder.
And why?
Finnick hungry.
Well, we'll get you some food, Finnick. Born, you like to run. Want to go run get some food for Finnick?
I got rations on me.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I do too. Duh.
So you guys hand some rations.
I hand a ration over to Finnick, yeah.
He reaches his hand tentatively and takes it from you, and he looks down at it and just eats it all like in 3 seconds.
I pull out another one.
2 seconds.
I do the same thing. Like I eat one just like that.
For him, like, look at us.
He's like chewing his food. He kind of looks up at you, quirks an eyebrow a little bit.
I do the same thing back to him.
You know, he starts to look uncomfortable. He's looking around. I'm like, what's going on?
Then I start laughing.
Finnick, why are you so scared of Hallett? What did he do? What do you know? Tell us. We're just trying to figure this all out here. Yeah, can I take another attempt at a diplomacy check?
I'll give you another attempt at a diplomacy check, yes.
What's your diplomacy there, Miklik?
Miklik's got a +6.
Knock that table talk shit off right now. David, you doing it? Or Nick, you doing it?
All right. I make my diplomacy. This time I get a 16 on my diplomacy.
Okay. Now that Finnick understands that you're not actually trying to hurt him, as soon as like he breaks down and he starts crying, and he reaches, like he scurries over to you and he grabs onto your coat, Plum, and he just goes, I didn't know. I thought they were spices.
Who gave them to you?
Hallett.
All right. I'm going to pull out the rest of my rations. I had a week's worth. I give them to Finnick, and I say, Finnick, go find a place to hide and stay safe. We'll deal with Halid.
Man, I feel like this murder mystery just got really fucking easy.
Yeah. I was so lost, and now...
We had like 5 different people we were going to go talk to. And all we had to do was chase down a fucking goblin. And we're good. You guys should have just let me fucking shoot him with a ray of frost.
Oh, yeah. Let's kill him and then completely lose our source of
I would have
information.
healed him back.
Except you critically hit him and you kill him.
Then, oh shit.
Oh shit.
We're back to asking the 5 different people we wanted to talk to.
Well, I say we should go talk to Halid and be ready for some fighting. Because I feel like he's going to get violent.
DJ
We're gonna go
Haley.
kill him?
We're
I think-
not gonna kill him.
I think before we let Mikla, or even I'm saying it now, before we let go, we need to ask him if he was told to only put it in Bort's bowl.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Did Halid say why?
No. Not at all. No.
I don't think you tell him.
You tell him it was spices.
Did he? Obviously he told him spices.
Yeah, I want to figure out where... Oh, I asked Finnick where Halid lives.
Finnick doesn't know.
Who would know?
I don't know.
Gather information time.
Yeah, how the hell does that work?
Okay, so yeah, gather information is a diplomacy check. The GM determines the DC of the check and the amount of time it takes, typically 2 hours, but sometimes more, along with any benefit you might be able to gain by spending coin on bribes, drinks, or gifts. Success, you collect information about the individual or topic. Critical failure, you collect incorrect information about the individual or topic.
So yeah, I will make a secret roll to you, Mr. DM, for this diplomacy gather information check.
Is this something that we could aid on, since we're kind of doing it all together, if we want
Okay
to?
with that. You guys figure out who makes the primary roll.
Miklik will aid.
I will not aid. I have a -1.
Daru, do you have diplomacy?
Daru has a diplomacy at +4.
If you want to aid, you can drop a diplomacy check into the dice tower. It doesn't take you guys very long. I mean, it's a small town. But because people seem to be really hesitant to actually tell you where Halid lives, you probably have to ask about like 5 or 6 people. You try to convince them, and you get put off a lot on trying to find out where Halid lives. But after about an hour, you determine that he lives on the north side of town. And I don't know how much you remember when you were first rolling into Etron's Folly, but the north side of town seems to be largely abandoned. He lives in a place like when the person that you actually find who's willing to give you the information, he says it's called the Dead Willow. You can find it real easy because there's a giant dead willow real close by. It's in the yard.
You guys are so good at naming things in this town.
Aren't they? I mean, that's fantastic.
You know, the place he eats the feed mill. The Dead Willow is called the Dead Willow.
As you guys are actually talking to that local, Delma shows up. Ah, there you are. I've been looking for you all. There's just a small matter of, settling your tab and discussing the rate of you staying and all of the ale that you drank.
That on the guy that died?
Yeah. Done his tab.
Yeah. Out of respect for the dead, you should honor it.
I can, okay, alright.
You might want to talk to the half-orc lady.
I could talk to Tamley about that. Do you plan on staying at the feed mill in your time while you're here?
I will be, yes.
Above the barn?
Miklik has no need to stay in the
I'll sleep
table.
in the woods. Like, I'm cool. If that costs money, pass.
Well, I'd give you a discount because of the great
Yes.
service that you're doing for the town.
Pass. Just trying to get money out of me.
It's gonna seem weird, but I think the goblin and the druid go hang out in the woods.
Yes.
And that makes me happy, so I definitely stay.
Yeah. Plum will stay in the stable, yeah.
I feel like I have a little camp somewhere anyways, with the bear hide there.
Well, my normal rate is 5 silver per night.
5 of those little silver? No. This is nonsense.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Vorn, but my rates are my rates. And
Get out of here. Get out. Get away. Go.
It's 10 silver to a gold, right?
Yeah, that's a pretty expensive stay.
Yeah, I'm staying in my tent. I've got
Actually-
I'm staying in it.
Come follow me to my camp. It's wonderful. I picked a nice spot in the woods. There's a little
That's like the Hilton price.
Well, like, okay, so
You
room
gotta
and
say this.
board. It's room and board, so that includes food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, as well as drinks with each meal.
Oh, it's not just for the room.
Not just for the room. Correct.
I got some homemade wine. I can make some fucking more turnip ale. Let's go back to my camp. I got this.
I got some wolf left over, so.
Now, I'm pretty sure you guys just left that on the trail.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
bro.
going back for it. It doesn't care. It's a
Oh, right.
It was only like an hour away.
Yeah, let's eat the 2-day-old wolf meat. Great idea.
Sounds good.
Look, I'll tell you what. I'll reduce it to a silver a day if you're willing to help me with my father.
I walk away.
What's wrong with your old man?
He's just very old.
What, you want to help you put him down or what?
No! No!
Fucking flocks.
He's the mayor!
Mayor Turnip Man?
Put the mayor down? Are you sick?
Not
Hey,
the
you came to us.
To collect the tab. To
Oh,
offer you
yeah,
a
that's
discount on my rate.
Can I ask how much the tab was? That's head wondering. Warren doesn't care.
And 5 silver a person for last night.
Okay. I drink.
I would say like 20 silver for Ted.
Warren
You also-
has the tab.
Also shot lightning in her.
I healed everybody.
But Vorn also gave her hints on how to make a better turnip ale. So
Yes. That is fucking
it's
priceless.
valuable, actually.
Priceless,
It actually is pretty valuable.
Like he needs help like mowing the lawn, or
No, he needs to be walked sometimes.
I thought you were gonna say washed.
No. I can handle all of that.
You need me to walk your old man?
Walk like a dog? You got a leash?
No, he's in a chair. We've modified the backside of a cart. He can't really walk more than a few steps on his own. But I'm just so busy trying to get the feed mill cleaned back up and prepared to reopen, which I'd like to do tomorrow.
What would you pay me to try to heal him?
He's just old.
You can't heal old age, you level 1 druid.
How about a try? Let me look up the rules on this.
Healing old age.
Miklik doesn't understand old age because goblins don't live to old age. They generally die before they reach that.
What you should do, champion, is go walk around the old guy and get him to tell you about that weird stone in the middle of town.
You
Uncover.
must show compassion for others regardless of their authority or station. Fuck.
But this guy has it.
He even has authority and state.
I'll walk your old man.
Let's go take care of Halid, then we'll go take Daddy Pie for a walk.
So you guys head off in the direction that you were pointed to, and yeah, finding the house with the big dead willow is very easy because, well, there's a big dead willow in the yard.
Well, that was easy.
This has been the MNmaxed Podcast. All sounds you heard in this episode were provided by Sirenscape. Check them out at Sirenscape.com. We want to thank you for sharing our adventures into the Fall of Plaguestone and Pathfinder Second Edition. Join us as they continue, and until then, we hope you have many great adventures of your own.